The Furious Five are the most beloved characters in Kung Fu Panda, and if you actually track how much screen time they get across all 4 movies, DreamWorks has been slowly, quietly erasing them, not in one big moment, piece by piece, until in Kung Fu Panda 4, 4 of the 5 just vanished, and almost nobody noticed how deliberate it was. I'm not guessing here. This is something you can count. Go back through the franchise and measure how much the 5 actually do in each film, and you find a pattern so consistent it can't be an accident. Their screen time doesn't just drop, it collapses on a curve, like someone planned the fade out. And once you see that curve, a much bigger question opens up, one that tells us exactly what DreamWorks is setting up for Kung Fu Panda 5. So let me walk you through it, movie by movie, because the way they disappear is the whole story. Let's start where they're strongest. Kung Fu Panda 1. In the first movie, the Furious Five are everything. They're the reason Po wants to be a hero. Tigress, Crane, Mantis, Viper, Monkey. Each one gets a personality, a fighting style, a real presence. Remember, they each take a turn fighting Po in the training hall. They go after Tai Lung themselves on the bridge, and that bridge fight is one of the best action scenes in the whole franchise. They lose, sure, but they matter? The movie treats them as real warriors. Here's the key thing to hold on to. In the first film, Po has to earn the Five's respect. Their opinion of him is the emotional center of the movie. Tigress turning from rejecting Po to standing beside him. That's the arc. The 5 are essential. Now watch what starts happening. Kung Fu Panda 2. The 5 are still here. They go with Po on the whole journey. They fight alongside him in Gongmen City. But notice the shift. This movie isn't about Po earning their respect anymore. He already has it. So the 5 become support, backup. They execute the plan. They fight the wolves. They do the action. But the emotional core has moved entirely to Po and his past. Po and Shen. Po and his mother. Watch Tigress specifically, because she's the one they keep. There's that moment where she takes a cannon blast to protect Po. There's the hardcore line. She still gets real beats. But Crane, Mantis, Viper, Monkey, count their actual lines. Count the moments where they matter as individuals, not as a group throwing punches in the background. It's already shrinking. The first movie, they were characters. The second movie, 4 of them quietly became a team, interchangeable. One of them, Tigress, got promoted to the important one. Keep that in mind, because that promotion is about to mean something. Kung Fu Panda 3. And this is where the erasing gets impossible to ignore. Think about what actually happens to the 5 in this movie. Kai creates Jade Zombie versions of Master after Master, and the Furious 5, they get turned into Jade. They get taken off the board. They spend a huge chunk of the climax as Kai's mind-controlled puppets, fighting against Po instead of with him. Stop and think about how strange that is. The franchise took its 5 most beloved warriors and, in the third movie, literally removed them from the fight by turning them into zombies. They're not heroes in the climax, they're obstacles. Po doesn't win with the 5. He wins with the pandas, a whole new group of characters. And with Chi, see the pattern forming? Movie 1, the 5 are the heart. Movie 2, they're the backup. Movie 3, they're literally converted into the enemy and replaced by a new cast. The screen time isn't just dropping. Their importance is being systematically transferred to other characters. And then comes Kung Fu Panda 4. And here's the moment that made me realize this was deliberate. The Furious 5 are gone. Tigress shows up for a brief moment near the start, and the other 4, Crane, Mantis, Viper, Monkey, are explained away with a single line about being off on missions. That's it. The 5 characters that define this entire franchise are written out of the 4th movie with one sentence. Now, the official real-world reason is partly about money. Bringing back Angelina Jolie, Lucy Liu, Jackie Chan, Seth Rogen, and David Cross for a full movie is enormously expensive. That's true. And I'm not going to pretend it isn't a factor. But here's what's interesting. DreamWorks didn't have to write them out completely. They chose to. They built Kung Fu Panda 4 as a story that didn't need the 5 at all. A new sidekick, Zhen. A brand new dynamic. A fresh start. And when you line it up, heart, to backup, to zombies, to a single line of dialogue. That's not a coincidence. That's a 4-movie fade to black. The question is why, and the answer is the most interesting part. Here's my theory, and this is the part I think actually matters for Kung Fu Panda 5. DreamWorks isn't killing the Furious 5 because they don't care about them. They're clearing the stage. Think about what every Kung Fu Panda movie is really about. It's about Po growing into the next version of himself, Dragon Warrior, then a master, then, in KFP 4, the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, Oogway's old role. Po is becoming Oogway. We've watched it happen, but here's the thing about Oogway. When we met him, he didn't have a team of equals. He was alone at the top, the wise one. So if Po is becoming Oogway, the story has to remove Po's generation of peers to get him there. The Furious 5 aren't being erased because they're forgotten. They're being moved aside because the story is elevating Po above them. You can't be the wise old master at the top of the mountain if your 5 best friends are standing next to you as equals. The fade out of the 5 is really the coronation of Po. One rises, the others have to step back. And that reframes the whole pattern. It was never neglect. It was a handoff. So what does this mean for Kung Fu Panda 5? I want to be clear. There's no confirmed plot for the 5th movie yet, so this is where I'm speculating. But if the pattern holds, KFP 5 has 2 options, and they're both fascinating. Option 1, the 5 come back for a real send-off. If Po is fully becoming the spiritual leader, the franchise owes these characters one final proper moment, a passing of the torch, where the old Furious 5 formally hand the future to Po and Jen's generation. A goodbye done right. Or option 2, the darker one. The 5 stay gone, and KFP 5 quietly confirms that the era of the Furious 5 is simply over, replaced by Jen and a new team. A soft ending, with no goodbye at all. And honestly, which of those DreamWorks chooses will tell us everything about whether they ever respected these characters, or whether they were always just stepping stones in Po's story. So now I need your brain on this, because I've laid out the pattern: heart, backup, zombies, one line of dialogue. But I want to know if you see it the way I do. Is DreamWorks deliberately phasing out the Furious 5 to elevate Po into the next Oogway? Or is this just budget reality, and I'm reading a master plan into what's really just expensive actors? Tell me, deliberate or just money? Drop it in the comments, and tell me why. I'm going to be in there replying for the first hour this goes live, so come argue with me. And the real question, the one I genuinely can't decide, do the Furious 5 deserve a proper send-off in Kung Fu Panda 5? Or has Po's story already moved on without them? Because if they came back for one last fight, I don't know a single fan who wouldn't want to see it. If you've got a Tigress-sized hole in your heart after KFP 4, you'll want to see my breakdown of why Tigress went through the exact same thing as Tai Lung. It's right there, and it connects to all of this. Hit subscribe, because there's a lot more buried in this franchise. See you in the next one.